Okay, so with this exercise, first step, make the picture a little smaller so that none of it is going off the edge. So, just Command T, grab from the corner. I've already done that here. And then now we're going to select the guinea pig. So quick select is a good choice. Make sure you're not on minus. You need to be on the far left little option here, the regular tool. And you want to grab the guinea pig and the scooter, sizing the brush up and down using the bracket keys as needed. And then there's a little area where it should be deleted right here. This is background on both sides, in between the pedal and the bike itself. So you can use minus and you can grab or remove a section. It doesn't really work here, it's a little too dark. So just use the minus polygon lasso and draw it so that you get rid of that piece too. And then once you have it, then go into Refine Edge. And I would maybe smooth just a little first and then brush along the edge of the guinea pig. And I think with him it might even work best not to use Smart Radius, although you could use it. If you do though, use just a tiny amount. But what we want to kind of get is some of the fuzzy fur on him. And if you get too much, like I'm leaving a dark shadow here, I'm going to go into minus to remove. And then we're going to output this one to a new layer plus mask. So go to new layer with layer mask and say OK. And now looking at the guinea pig, you kind of want to make sure nothing is missing. So I'm going to turn off the background just so you can kind of see. So right here it's missing part of his ear. The rest of it doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure I'm on the mask, not on the photo. And the default, after you output to a new layer with layer mask, the photo is selected, so you have to remember to go and move it. Otherwise you're going to be painting on the guinea pig. And I want white paint, and I don't want a super fuzzed out brush because I'm painting along the edge, and I want to just bring that ear back. So anywhere you've missed, bring it back. And then if you need to remove anything, like I have some dark pixels through some of this, so I could remove those. And the fuzzy hair, I wouldn't probably erase that. What I would do instead is use the dodge tool on it. And you have to be on the photo though, not on the mask. But you can kind of knock down some of those dark pixels. And the main reason to do it is because it's on sky right here. So you can see those. So I would just lighten those. Just getting rid of some of the dark. And then I notice I still am missing a little bit of ear, so I'll put that back. Oh, it would need to be on the brush. Oops, I just dodged by mistake. Okay, so I want to be there with 100% opacity, and then I want to put this back. And sometimes it's easiest just to lasso the parts you're trying to remove or add. So I'm going to do that just to get right along the edge of that ear without getting any background. And what that allows me to do then is when I paint now, it's just going to let me take that off really quickly without having to worry about losing some of the guinea pig. So once he's cut out, then the next step is to make a shadow in the shape of the guinea pig. And we're gonna use the eyedropper tool, this one, and what we're gonna wanna do is sample a dark part of the shadow. And if you kind of look at this picture for a bit, notice the shadows are all going out this direction. We're gonna make a shadow and we're gonna use the shadow color. We're not gonna pick the light part because we're gonna make it see-through. We're gonna lower the opacity. So if we start light, then it'll end up being too light. So instead, eyedropper the real dark area, and make sure you're on the right picture when you do it. Just now I was on the mask, which I wasn't getting anything there. There we go. So now it's in here, it's in the color. And notice it's in the blue range. So it's a blue, it's a real dark charcoal gray, but it's a blue gray as opposed to being a warm gray. And now I'm gonna get the selection of the guinea pig. First, I need to remove the mask. So I'm gonna select the mask, right click, and apply. And that gets rid of the mask. And now I can command click on the little thumbnail picture to get the selection of the guinea pig. So that's command and click. It doesn't work to be on the blue part of the layer or the eye. You have to be right on the tiny picture. Once you have the selection, make a new empty layer. And to do that, all you do is click the new layer button. It's this one. And then we're going to paint bucket into that layer. It's going to look like we're painting over our guinea pig, but it's on its own layer, so we're not. This is separate. And then we can deselect, Command D, or select, deselect, and we're going to move it so it's below the guinea pig. So drag the layer down, and now you can kind of see them. There's the shadow, here's the guinea pig. The next step is we're going to warp or distort this shadow so that it's laying down flat. And to do that, we're going to go to Edit, Transform, Distort. And then grab the top center and pull it to the side. And you can kind of move it as you need to, because it's going to end up needing to be, kind of really going at an angle. And it's going to look like a blob, right? It's not going to really look exactly like a guinea pig because it's distorted so much in this instance. And then once you like it, just double click. And then you can free transform and rotate it even more because it's really pretty flat. And position it. And then we're going to make it see-through by lowering the opacity. And just kind of look at this shadow to get it close. And then finally, we're going to blur it just a little. So we're going to go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. And when you get there, you won't see anything because the shadow's at the bottom. So pull up so you see it. And you're just going to do a little blur. Always look at whatever shadows are in the picture already to get the cue as to what they should look like. Because, depending on how bright the day is, the shadows will be sharper if it's a really bright, clear day, as opposed to, a more cloudy day. It would be more diffused. So, and also the direction of the shadows, that's how high the sun is in the sky in relation to the objects that it's casting a shadow with. So that's it on that one. Just save it, last name, first name, EX12, and turn it in.